I think it's safe to say that Five Nights at Freddy's fans are having it good right now. The game's popularity hitting an all-time high, and them having its first AAA game, with somewhat of a success.
We're gonna go down to parts and services, and I'm gonna shove a beak inside of you, and you are going to be able to talk better. Did you hate the idea that much?
The FNAF movie that came out last year, with critics being mixed about it, but audiences really loved it. Also, not to mention, the movie becoming one of the biggest opening weekends for a horror film ever, with an announcement of a sequel in development. I would say yes, FNAF fans are eating pretty good right now. Almost everyone and their annoying parents know about how William Afton killed a bunch of kids in the back of a rip-off Chuck E. Cheese. But it was not always like this, and things were a lot more simple, with a struggling Christian video game developer trying to make one last game. The series creator, Scott Cawthon, was on his last legs trying to make one last game that would work and people can enjoy. Listening to criticism from his last game about his animated characters, he would release the first FNAF game in 2014. At first, nothing happened, but then, the game exploded.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's.
She is such a bad bitch though!
I know I didn't go into full depth about the origins of FNAF, but I just wanted to give you the game's more humble beginnings. However, what Scott had made would be one of the biggest fan bases on the planet and on the internet, with a bunch of fans and creators making stuff around the world about the Little Horror mascot series, with fans all around the world, like I said, loving it. But the fan base be cursed. This, I would say, was a bit of a monkey's paw. Scott Cawthon got what he wanted, a successful game and franchise. However, there is a catch. The fan base is the most toxic fan base out there, with some of it having some parallels with other fandoms, such as the Sonic fandom.
We'll never escape the ice chamber. That's not what you think, Dr. Eggman.
Not fully, but some parts more than others, and also a wee bit of little autism. But another parallel would be fan projects and its YouTubers having very interesting characteristics, and not in a good way. Some of you FNAF fans out there probably already know about some of them, and there's some people out there who probably just don't know at all. But since it's a horror game and it is the season to be spooky, I will show you the most degenerate, the dumbest, and the most terrifying individuals in the FNAF fandom. However, all of these people have one thing in common: complete and total self-destruction. This is
Wow, dude. Wow. 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 Wow, dude.
Now let me show you the strangest and the most notorious individuals in the FNAF fandom. I won't go into everything because there is so much controversy about this FNAF creator. That would drag the video out a little bit. But I will show you the most notorious things he has ever done, and the most infamous. This is Theft King, one of the most hated creators in the FNAF fandom. However, him being so hated was not always the case. At one point, he was just like every other FNAF horror creator, except for one thing and one thing only. A little thing a lot of people hate on this platform, and about him, that being clickbait. Yes, clickbait, one of the oldest YouTube traditions, and it being very, very notorious. A thumbnail that shows or says something that might be in the video until you click on it and it shows something else completely or was over-exaggerated and it's not really there at all. Also, another thing that people hate about Theft King's thumbnails would be it being the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again almost every time. I know that this is very silly to get mad over. Sure, it was and still is very annoying to some, but I wanted to give you a simple background on what he was doing before the insane controversy he would put himself in. Theft King would be a part of one of the most self-inflicted, petty controversies that ruined his entire reputation as a FNAF YouTuber. Hi, Smackyard here. I refuse to make a ruin joke because I have standards. Now, I won't go into too much, however, this does get very complicated, and I will try my best to give you a little rundown on what happened. Just don't expect to get too much detail on what had happened. This controversy all started with a game called Aftonbuilt. I won't go into too much into it, but it was a rejected official fan game for the Fazbear Fanverse Initiative. I won't get into too much what the initiative is, but I will talk about it a little later on. But what is Aftonbuilt? Aftonbuilt was a rejected game by Scott himself, due to the game being very ambitious. So, they released it, and many people wondered, why did Scott actually get rid of it? We already know, of course, now, but people really liked it, and people were wondering, why would he actually get rid of it? So, Theft King came in with a video to explain what happened, and an interview with one of the creators, known as Jelly Liam. He went to Theft King and started to let out all his dirty laundry about the Fanverse Initiative and Scott himself. Some of the reasons are, like how there was a lack of funding for the game, poor communication with Scott, and them not being told of what the requirements are for the Fanverse. This made the Fanverse and Scott look really, really bad. But there's one big problem here. Jelly Liam signed an NDA. Legally, he was not supposed to say that or show any of this, and fans were rightfully calling him out for it. Now, to keep in mind, there were other developers who made Aftonbuilt, and they were okay with what had happened. Sure, they were a little upset, but they were fine with it. They still had respect for everyone involved. They also knew not to talk about it due to having signed an NDA. Basically, Jelly Liam is really, really dumb. But this is where Kane Carter comes in, and he is the spokesperson for the Fanverse, and he wanted to talk to Jelly Liam about what he had said. Kane and Jelly Liam talked for a little bit, and after that said talk, everything was right in the world. You would think, because Jelly Liam went into full panic mode. He started to regret what he had said to Theft King and also what was said in the video, so he then went to Theft King and told him to take the video down. He did not do that. But the only thing he did was censor the word Discord. Wow, careful everybody, he did the bare minimum. So Liam, obviously being very desperate at this point, decided to lie to Theft King. That lie being that the Fanverse devs were going to tell on him to Scott Cawthon. I don't know why he said that. Theft King just straight up believed him, by the way, calling the Fanverse devs clowns. This is the most autistic thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, not the worst, but you get the idea. Then Theft King's reputation went crumbling down from there. However, some time would pass, and things were starting to cool down for a bit, until a video from Sheep Rampage would come out. This video that Sheep Rampage had made was all about how the Fanverse Initiative had failed. Sure, there are obviously some other things, we'll get to that part later, but another person who saw the video that we already know did not like it that much. And that person would be Kane Carter, and he would make a tweet about it. And apparently, Sheep Rampage was friends with Theft King, and you can see where this is going. This is the part where we see Theft King's more infamous moments in the FNAF fandom. At one point, he would start a live stream, and King Carter would message him, and Theft King got very, very upset.
Hey man, keep your chin up. You should check out the latest tweet by It Lost Pop Goes. It's important.
Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding? Do you really think this is the fucking venue for this? I DM'd you. I'm begging you to fucking speak to me. I've been begging you. And you've been ignoring me. I didn't do anything. I've been ignoring you. And now you come in private. I'm trying to resolve this in private. And then you come in my fucking live stream and do a donation. Are you serious? Are you kidding me, dude? Do you know how unfair a position that is to put me in? Are you... Wow, dude. Wow. 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 Wow, dude.
And this would be the most memorable responses Theft King would be notoriously known for.
I think King Carter is a vindictive, evil person. You know, I'm not religious, but like if there was a hell, King Carter will burn for eternity. Like that's straight up the kind of person I think he is. He's vindictive and likes to see people suffer.
Over the top response? Yes. Funny out of pocket response that would be mean to oblivion? Most definitely. Yeah, I know some of you out there are thinking that I'm skipping a lot, but I want to keep things short and get you into the more important parts, like Theft King's own self-destruction. After this response, Theft King's own reputation was absolutely, totally destroyed. Nowadays, he's doing pretty well for himself, of course. However, if Theft King notices you in a new horror series that you are creating, or video game, or anything at all, or anything that is FNAF adjacent, and he makes a video about it, some creators get very, very upset. Speaking of creators getting very unimaginably upset,
Kids, it's chomping time! Oh, McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Ate on that farm, he had a pig, E-I-E-I-O. And a bum here, and a bum there.
now we are going a little bit back to the past, when things were a lot more simple, well, from a certain point of view. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is what the FNAF fanbase is best known for. Fan games.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and welcome to Five Nights at Fuckboys.
And we're going to be talking about more about the FNAF Fanverse Initiative. The Five Nights at Freddy's series has inspired a lot of fans to make games of their very own, many making their own or just remaking the original games. The quality of those games does vary, though. Some of those games would get the attention of Scott himself. Well, through a little copyright shenanigans, he would, with other creators, create the Fanverse Initiative. First announced in 2020, the Fazbear Fanverse Initiative is a giant collaboration of fan game developers who had made some popular fan games in the FNAF community over the years. It is said in Scott's very own words to give back to the developers, though he tried to copyright strike one of them. But let's just get that out of the way. That is a very nice move from Scott himself, and hopefully it will bring many people in the community together. But, most importantly, not cause so many controversies that it would make many people wonder if this was a good idea at all. Okay, jokes aside. Now this part is the key to get into one of the biggest fanverse controversies, besides that one. We will get to that part later. And that one, everyone's already talked about that one, calm down. But what I'm going to be talking about, to me, is the strangest, dumbest, and the most autistic things I have ever seen about a fan game. Basically, a self-sabotage. We will be following 3 people that are very notorious to die-hard FNAF fans, and to many, they would be known as the Pear. This all started in the year of 2022. When some shocking news would appear and it would send shockwaves across the fandom. Well, we're talking about leaks. Not just any leaks, but a random Twitter user named Liam Crush would reveal a hidden Discord. This hidden Discord was called The Pear. But first, we need to talk about a little indie fan game called Chompers. Chompers is a first-person mascot horror game. The creator of Chompers, Ultranite, would announce the game on January 30th, 2021. The game would have a full development over a year, and nothing special would happen. And a whole year would pass, and this is the part where we can finally talk about the actions of the pair. I know that there are others who were part of the pair, but this, I would say, is more of a three-way, with 3 creators who are all connected in their own self-destruction. Also, I just want to show you how this self-destruction is really, really stupid and self-inflicted. In late 2022, a user on Twitter named Liam Crush would post a twit longer. This would be shown to everyone the illegal, malicious, and the stupidest things that has ever happened on the Fanverse initiative and the fandom. All of this would be happening behind closed doors behind the FNAF community's back, and by an anonymous Discord group called The Pear, which you all already know. Then, after all this was revealed, it wasn't very anonymous after it was public to the community. However, that being said, the server would still have a lot of unidentified members, but the server would have very well-known fan game developers, like Romanov, the creator of Juniors, Mechless, the creator of Project Readjusted, and Ultranite himself. Again, it wasn't so very anonymous after it was all revealed to the public. When this was first posted onto Twitter, not much traction would happen, until Kane Carter, yes, the man is in a lot of FNAF controversies, responded to the tweet and the twit longer. Then the situation got more traction. Then Kane Carter made a twit longer himself that said he found out about all of this from an anonymous tip in late May. The tip would reveal that one of their own team members was friends with Ultranite. This friend was working for the group. However, little did the group know that that same person was unknowingly given access to the chats that they had. In short terms, they're stupid, dumb. Basically, I want to know if
You are either lying or you're stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid.
Then, another user that was working for the pair was confronted and revealed that this server was way more malicious than they thought. This had full leaks of games that were not even out yet, and personal information of people in the fanverse. After this was found out, Kane decided to hide from the community as much as possible due to the information being leaked, since everyone now knew everything about the situation. He was also afraid of this leading to a massive leak of stolen content from games that the pair had collected over time. He had also said in the twit longer that he privately talked to Scott and warned him about the group, leading to all of them being banned from entering the fanverse. But here is the most stupidest thing that would be revealed, and also reveal what they did. That would be very, very concerning. They had somehow managed to get photos of Scott Cawthon's wife and even his kids. Oh, this is just downright stupid. It's downright dumb. You had everything in your pocket, and you decided to have his own wife and children, photos of him by the way, and also full footage of his own marriage on film, and then they were making fun of that film itself. You had everything in your hand and you just threw it away. This is just amazing. Amazingly stupid. After the group chat was leaked, Chompers would be rejected from being part of the Fanverse initiative. Then it was cancelled. Ultranite would apologize on Game Jolt about his actions and the people he had let down. Later on, Romanov, the creator of Juniors, would leave the FNAF community after the game Juniors was released on June 17th. With some people liking the game's graphics, but ultimately it being a disappointment. But hey, at least Mark played it. But at what cost? Meanwhile, Mechless would make a statement later on about how the pair was originally for them to talk about the games that they were developing. However, everything got out of control, guys. Yeah, after looking at all of this and knowing that they had photos of Scott's kids, I don't believe that. Then it would be found out that Ultranite, Romanov, and Mechless were caught mass review bombing Game Jolt's rating list to manipulate it. Then they would be banned off of Game Jolt for breaking TOS, except for Mechless for some strange reason. After all of that has happened, and after all of this, as of 2024, Ultranite has never been seen on the internet. So it is considered that he has left the community and he will never be seen or heard from ever again. Now I know what some of you guys might be asking. Why? Why would they do this? Well, their reason for everything was all because of one thing and one thing only. Power and influence in the FNAF community to manipulate people, I think. There's multiple reasons, but so far as I know, this is the one I've seen multiple people have said. Also to gain control of Game Jolt and fan games to their standards. Okay, listen, you don't even need to try that hard. Trust me, have you seen the games that have come out recently? But what's done is done. All of these games would no longer be part of the fanverse, and some of them would be cancelled. Sad to see all that hard work all for nothing. I do feel really bad for all the people who worked on these games. They just wanted to make something good. They did not deserve all of this. Well, at least no one got seriously hurt. It can't get any worse, can it?
Oh, hi guys, I'm John Bro, and this is my actual face. What the actual face? No, anyways, I'm making this video because I recently hit 1...
Okay, we're gonna be doing another fanverse controversy. This will be the last one, but there's a lot of them. But this controversy started the entire if the fanverse was a good idea in the first place. This is where we follow a game and its creator having hit the top of success, even though he hated it and his fans. In this, we will follow a fan series that many people loved in the FNAF fandom, and was the poster child for its revival for the FNAF fanverse. And that game would be called One Night at Flumpty's, and its creator, Jonochrome.
And last but not least, Zelda Ocarina of Time, golden cartridge with the red blood and the creepy Fire Temple music.
Jonochrome would be best known for being a game developer, but also he would be known as an animator for Newgrounds and also a music composer for his games. But let's go into Jonochrome's beginnings. Jonochrome's beginnings online were very simple. Born in June 1994, then learning Flash in 2004, he was inspired to make animations and games, all of which he would post on Newgrounds. In his own words as to why he did this because he wanted to bring in many constant ideas to his life. Now, animation has become one of many hobbies that he has. Meanwhile, game design has gone beyond being a hobby for him, and is now, probably, in his own words, my greatest creative passion, even though all the games look like this.
Hello. Long time no see. I've been kind of busy with various different things, mostly school, and then I've been trying to work on personal projects, but because of school, they've been taking a very long time, and they're kind of...
Very simple beginnings, yes, but his passion would start all on Newgrounds, as you already know, making Flash games, one being very well known, and this very well known title would be known as Riddle School. These games would become very popular, but he would slowly be burnt out and many people asking questions on another one, and he really did not like people asking. However, he would do some other games that are very short, like Undertale fan games, Deltarune fan games. However, one of those games Jonochrome would make would be very popular, even passing Riddle School, and that one would be known as One Night at Flumpty's. One Night at Flumpty's is very well known, even more than Jonochrome's other games that he has ever made. And, just like Jonochrome, the origins of the game is very simple. FNAF being very popular, and Markiplier playing it, and also another fan game, Five Nights at Wario's. That's a weird inspiration, but okay. But let's talk about the games themselves. The One Nights at Flumpty series are parody games, but still have the same gameplay mechanics as other FNAF games. And another sequel came out, expect a Flumpty's game to parody them. Flumpty's became very popular, with many Let's Players, large and small, playing them. The games became very beloved in the FNAF community, like the gameplay and the characters. Speaking of those characters, we have Flumpty Bumpty, the Redman, Grankfus the Clown, and Golden Flumpty. Okay, a little side tangent here. Why is it always golden? Why can't it be a different color like Gamboogie? Okay, maybe just stick with golden. After all this success, Jonochrome would keep making sequels after another FNAF game would release. He would make the second game, Flumpty's 2, in 2015, and that would do really well. Then he would make another sequel called 1 Week at Flumpty's, but things were not going according to plan, and he would make a video talking about it.
I gave it a solid effort, but it was not meant to be. I don't enjoy canceling games after I've announced them. This isn't the first time I've done it, or the second time, or the third time, as far as I can remember. But it's never easy. Relatively speaking, though, I feel pretty at ease with this decision.
Sorry guys, you're not gonna have that game come out. He then took the games down from Game Jolt, and they would never be seen or heard from again. However, fans would re-upload them back onto Game Jolt a year later. Then, a couple of years would pass. Jonochrome would get very annoyed by people claiming they wanted to see more Flumpty, and saying that Flumpty's is dead. And he hated Flumpty's fans and the characters that he has made. And then, a couple of years would pass, and Scott Cawthon himself would reach out to Jonochrome through email, and he wanted him to join the Fazbear Fanverse initiative. Now, he could finally finish the game and remaster his entire series that no longer exists. Now, he can make money off of the series through the Fanverse, through merchandise and also an app on the App Store. Then, the final installment for Flumpty's would finally be made after a little delay on October 31st, 2021. How nice of Scott to let a series a lot of people love have a chance to finally finish what they started. Not only that, Jonochrome can finally finish it, but also be paid for it, and also be paid through other means like merchandise, like I said, and through the App Store. Looks like things were looking up for Jonochrome. This is something a lot of people would dream of having it happen to them. However, with all good things, always must come with an end. And this is the part where we can talk about why Jonochrome is infamous as he is today. A month later, after the release of One Night at Flumpty's 3, something would happen. Jonochrome would be called out by an anonymous user on Twitter with very, very serious accusations. These allegations would claim that he had romantic relationships with a minor in 2016. However, it's different because he wanted to wait until she turned 18, guys! She was 13 years old, and he was 21, by the way, back in 2016. Ugh. Reading that just gives me the creeps. Jonochrome would reply saying that all the information in the TwitLonger was true. Then he would respond, going further into detail, and the victim herself is now an adult, responded to it, making a thread as soon as it was revealed to be public. Then she talked about how Jonochrome was not completely guiltless in this situation, and she also said that he was a nice, kind-hearted person. Ugh, I really doubt that. But she also said that he was 100% responsible to this situation, and Jonochrome had apologized to them several times. But he recognizes that he messed up big time. That's kind of a bit of an understatement. After this was revealed, many people in the fandom were very, very angry and disappointed with Jonochrome and what he had done. Jonochrome would state that he would be partaking in this therapy and attending health facilities. After that, he would change multiple of his online profiles saying what had happened. On those profiles, it would say that he was going into therapy for undiagnosed cognitive and emotional weaknesses. That's saying something. But this would do some damage to the image of the fanverse, making many people wonder if this was a good idea at all, and you know what happened after that. He did claim that he would come back someday, like Frosty the Snowman, but more creepy. Even if Jonochrome was nice to the victims, he was doing something that was illegal, even if it was, thankfully, nothing really physical happened, so far as we know. But I feel things could have gotten a lot worse, of course. But in the end, this event would ruin all the goodwill and reputation that he had had over the years, and now, a lot of FNAF fans want nothing to do with him. With all the rage of him not liking his fans and wanting to push them all away, in the end, he would finally do that, in probably the most destructive way possible. Sad to see all this happen, but things can only get worse from here, with a creator that is even bigger than him.
I'm really glad I actually decided to try it.
Oh, I can't even take... It's the smell and the sound of you chewing is making me...
Be hungry?
Radar.
Gain your appetite?
Come here. Come.
Now we're going to be looking at someone that is not just part of the FNAF community, but also into the, Brony community. Ah, yes, Bronies. One of the most fascinating fandoms online, and were the butt of many jokes.
Yes. Megatron. That's a vagina.
To me, I don't see any problem with something that you like and take interest in.
The unicorn whispered alluringly. Are you ready to claim your prize? There was so much startlement today, it was getting annoying. Now I had to struggle to accept that I was indeed going to spend an hour alone with none other than my best pony of all years every year, with 120% possibility of sex.
Okay, maybe you should get a different hobby. But we're going to be focusing on someone who has connections to not just the Brony community, but also the FNAF community.
Right now?
Best time
He's
to have
eating
pickle
a...
day.
Oh
A
god,
pickle
I'm gonna
egg.
throw up. Oh god. The juice.
This is Andy Stein, or mostly known as Mandopony. In the beginning, the channel itself was just your standard Brony channel in the beginning, in the early 2010s. Not very special. Just a generic music channel about Brony stuff, with the occasional animation to spice things up a bit. However, a few years later, Mandopony would strike gold, and would be a part of a lot of FNAF fans' childhood. It's 2014. FNAF was big. It was hot, figuratively and literally, also in the YouTube algorithm. So, like everybody else at that time, Mandopony decided to make a FNAF music video. This video would be known as Survive the Night, and this would be the most popular and most viewed video on his channel, even to this very day. This would put his channel on the map, also with the FNAF fanbase in tow, loving the music and it being remembered by a lot of older FNAF fans. Some of them wish they would forget, but it was still pretty popular. Things would be going rather well for Andy for a couple of years, dropping the name Mandopony instead of still using it, because let's be honest here, no one's going to be hiring someone named Mandopony. Instead, he decided to use his real name while producing his own music. He then had frequent collaborations with other music artists, like Nate Wants the Battle. Then he decided to join Nate's music distributing company, Give Heart Records. He then had a full album release called Smoke and Mirrors. Man, that's really bad foreshadowing right there. But just like Jonochrome, things were looking up for a few years, until things come crashing down. But unfortunately, things would be far, far worse. In 2020, a Twitter account would accuse Andy of cheating on his wife. However, the person he was cheating on was a child. Allegedly. Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it here. He was having not-so-safe relations with minors. Allegedly. The account stated that he has been using different accounts on social media like Instagram and Snapchat to groom 3 underage girls. Some of them are as young as 14 years old. Oh boy, here we go. They would soon post screenshots of, allegedly, Andy sexting them. There will be over 100 deleted screenshots of Andy talking to these minors, with one of them having full face of him being naked reflection in a mirror. Allegedly. Ooh, okay, this is even worse. While doing research and looking at these screenshots and conversations, some of them just give me the creeps or just cringe. After all of this was revealed to the public, Mandopony would make a very strange response. He would say on Twitter that he was going to see a therapist and step away from social media. He just straight up left the internet. No apologies or fighting the allegations. He privated his Twitter account, deleted all of his accounts that he allegedly had, and disabled all the comments that he has ever had on his YouTube account. And then, after all of that, there will be nothing. There was a police investigation in order, but otherwise, there was nothing. I know what some of you might be thinking. I'm saying allegedly a lot here, while others have not. That is because after 1 full year, Mandopony would come back to Twitter to make an announcement. He was in another investigation by the police, and somehow, even with the overwhelming amount of evidence provided, the police had concluded that nothing criminal had ever happened, and by the eyes of the law, Mandopony was innocent. After all that had happened, Mandopony would upload mostly music. However, the comments to this day are still disabled. While Andy himself was considered scot-free and was proven innocent by the eyes of the law, his reputation in the professional and online world would be taken a nosedive, and he is now considered blacklisted from the industry. Nate Wants to Battle and Given Heart Records disassociated with Stein by removing all of his music videos from their YouTube channel, also removing all of his content on the website of Give Heart Records. Not to mention, fans from both communities do not want to do anything with him anymore. The Brony and the FNAF fans that remember him only remember the allegations, and no one would give him the time of day to see what happened after everything. But during this time, Mandopony would make a video during the allegations, And it would be a music video, and that video would be called Witch Hunt. The video is about, well, you know, the witch hunt that happened to him. Now, I know what some of you might be asking. If he was proven innocent, then why is he here? Well, he would admit that he was being very too personal with his fans. If Mandopony did not do that, he would have never been in this situation to begin with, and his reputation would not be destroyed by his own self-destruction. Now, I want to put this out here. Not all FNAF creators or fan projects are like this. Most of them are normal. Well, normal as they can be. They're all really passionate about the series. Some of them really are annoying about it, but still. Scott Cawthon made a video game franchise all by himself, and that is something not a lot of people can do. I can't blame Scott for that or anyone who loves FNAF, but when there are kids or man-children in the fandom, things always get bad really fast. But that should not stop you from loving things that you love. If you love FNAF and want to make something with it, I don't see any harm in that. Just please, of all things holy, go outside and away from a school zone, please. Thank you for giving me your time. Please like and subscribe, and happy Halloween.
I felt her lazily move her head from side to side in reply.
No stallion has been able to pleasure me so quickly and easily by using his hooves before.